Hello and welcome back to XCOM 2. This is just a little campaign overview video where we look back at some of the best moments from the campaign and just sort of talk about it a little bit. If you're looking for an analysis of the mods, stay tuned for Wednesday's video. I will be going in more depth than I will be here on that. Not going to talk about mods, we're just going to talk about the story, as it were, and how we got on. First thing I want to do actually is, let me go over what we're going to be doing. First thing I want to do is show you Airstrike. I never got to show you that in the previous mission because we absolutely obliterated Advent and the alien forces. I mean, the avatars did not stand a chance. So let me just put a quick cut in here and show you what the Airstrike is like because, I just decided to reload the last moment of the last video and, get a look at how powerful that ability is. Alright, so I have gone back to the last available autosave. We are going to go ahead and have a little look at that Airstrike now. We know the avatar's over here. Let's go ahead and plonk it down on them, shall we? Here it is. Don't know where the Airstrike's coming from since we're underwater. Was hoping for more of a spectacle, but still, I'm happy enough with that. I wonder, by the way, is it possible? We haven't come all this way to not kick the elders in the nuts, have we now? I mean, that was more in the face. Oh, I didn't even do anything. Oh, well, screw you then. Alright, so now that that's taken care of, let's go over today's itinerary. So we're going to be looking at the campaign awards first, so obviously your MVPs and all that. And then we're going to go on to the photo album, have a look at the photos that we saw. Also going to be highlighting some of my favourite missions, and I'd like to know which ones were your favourite missions and which ones can be added to the ludicrous XCOM missions playlist that I have, which is kind of the sort of, if I had to recommend the channel to anyone, it'd be that playlist is what I'd recommend. Then we're also going to be looking at maybe a little bit of what I might do next campaign, and then I've got a little montage of the campaign at the end. So by all means stick around or just skip to the montage if you just want to see a fun little thing I threw together. I did not give myself enough time to do that thing, but I managed to get through it. So it's just sort of a little, highlight reel of the best moments, really. Anyway, so let's begin with the mission awards, shall we? So I need to make sure I've got the spreadsheet myself, actually, on my phone while I'm doing this. Your MVP, as you might be aware, is in fact Red Glaive. Yes, Elvira Harlech is the campaign MVP. She just won it by a hair on her final mission. I'm not talking about the Network Tower final regular season mission, shall we say. That took her to 9, I believe. So, congratulations. Otherwise, it was going to be Fang, who had 8 MVPs. So basically, the way we did it was with that mod, the better... I can't remember the name of the mod off the top of my head right now. But it allocates an MVP, and you kind of look at the soldier stats as you go through. Really good little mod, actually. I really like it. Does make it quite fun. I have to say. Let me just find how we're doing. Yeah, she had 9 in the end, as well as 1 commendation, whereas Fang had 8 MVPs and 2. Where is he? 2 commendations. So it would have gone to Fang, but there you go. I mean, the dual swords was just OP, wasn't it? Trading that, it drops all the way down to 5 by the looks of it. I'm seeing here. We've got... I think Rannick managed to work his way up to 5 MVPs by the end of the campaign, as did McDowell, and as did Dio, and so did Sammy. So yeah, 4 people with 5 MVPs, mission MVPs, so that's pretty good. But yeah, the campaign MVP goes to Red Glaive. Speaking of Rannick earlier, actually, he actually wins our Iron Man award for most missions, 24. I think the next highest, I think, is actually Spoon with 22. We have a little look through here. I'm not seeing anything higher than that. But yeah, 24 and then Spoon with 22. The utilities that Spoon brings was just too useful to not use as many missions as possible. And for Rannick, we just needed to do extra training, so that's kind of why he went on a few extra missions, because the damage output was just a little bit less on snipers. No, it doesn't. It goes to McDowell. He went on 25 missions. Scratch that. McDowell gets the Iron Man award. How did I miss that? That's a lot of missions. Yeah, I think I just took him out on 1 or 2 at the end because I was just loving the the plasma injector. Definitely that is going to be talked about in the mod video, that's for sure. Yeah, but there you go. In terms of most kills, however, I do think the most was in fact Headhunter. So let's take a little look. 107. I'm pretty sure he got like 120 something. 125 from Fang. Currently that's the most kills. Bearing in mind this does not include the final mission. Those are sort of different. Those don't count. 124, so just missing out on 1 mission and 1 kill. Oh, Headhunter. Next time. But still, like, that's a pretty bloody good performance though, isn't it? And also, how good were the performances in that final mission? I mean, those mutons did not stand a chance. It was bloody good. And also, Fang, oh my gosh. Just the avatars. Poor things. Poor little things. Useless. In fact, dare I say, Dio might have been the least effective soldier. Possibly. He might have been the least effective soldier on that final mission. Possibly, yeah. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, there you go. Those are sort of the highlights, the awards. Just before the montage at the end, I will in fact show you the overall stats, like how many missions everybody's been on, the full career stats, as it were. How many MVPs has everybody got? I'll show you that at the end. Right, I think it's time to maybe have a little look at the mission photos. Done a bit of curating, so we're going to start down here. Was up to about 170, I just got rid of loads of them. And you'll see why in a bit as well. So here we go, apparently this was our very first one. Was whenever we bonded Slicer and Duke together. And we've got a very first mission, which I forgot to take a picture for, because I think I pressed when you take a look at the mission stats, if you press continue on it, it just skips the opportunity to take a photo. But there you go, we've come a long way, haven't we guys? We've come a very long way. And there was a lot of first missions here as well, really good. Yeah, these guys, that was when they took on the Warlock, if I recall. This was a tough mission, that was a tough old one, I recall. Ah, the Faceless mission, I'll never forget that. We've never seen so many of the buggers, have we? Yeah, that was a tough one, I have to say, but everybody did very well. Really, really good. Another one there. Because you can see Sonya's still at work there. I always find that so weird when you see everybody duplicated like that. There we go, getting some supplies. Those early mission supply crate missions, they're really like handy, to be honest. Like, I know nobody really likes them that much, but early game they can kind of get you a really, really good start. Especially if you've just unlocked predator weapons, like magnetic weapons, sorry. Those missions tend to be like a cakewalk, and you can just clean up and get loads of supplies. Anyway, Slice, so we got Spoon, and we have Headhunter here. Vengeance and Death. Oh yes, they absolutely killed it. And there's a wall. There's the best photo of the campaign. There we go. Another one here. I see. Hello there. Right, this is really cool. MOCX take their photos as well. I mean, they're not the best photographers, but you know, they do take their own photos. I thought that was kind of cool. I've kept a few of them about. Here we go. Yes, mag. There we go. You can see the mag weapons about. Spoon just having a look at the carnage. Squad of 5 all alive. Everybody looking pretty happy. Not too sure about that. There we go. The lad's all out. Oi. Carnage. Time to rampage to the Advent Burger. Alright, and there's the other thing of MOCX. They take remembrance pictures if they all end up dying, I think. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. All of them died, so they're all in the same one. I thought that was kind of cool. We really did clean them up, didn't we? We really took them down. Alright, there's the black site. That was to save the campaign or postpone the Avatar project for a little bit longer. We can see the decent swords there, as well as one of my favourite pictures, which is Goose here. I do love that one. Forest Fun. Oh yes. There we go, Dio and Fang being bonded. That was a great decision, I must say. Now let's continue on. Then we have the individual pictures. We've got Duke, Meerkat, Dio, Slicer. Terrifying, that one. Fang, Headhunter, Big Red. We've got Alan, Spoon, and Augie. Augie putting the moves on the Viper. There you go, Ace as well. Poor old Sparky, rest in peace. There you go. It's a pretty cool one. Some of these are just random ones I just kept in. There you go. I always like when you have the layers coming up from above. I think that looks kind of cool. That was when we lost the Reaper, wasn't it? We lost one of our Reapers that we just got, Rebecca someone. I'm surprised I even remember her name. But yeah, there we go. We did lose her early on. There should be a sectoid back there. It was a sectoid that got the kill. Glory, honor, and victory. That's quite a low center of gravity you're opting for there, Harlek. The way he's not even using his hands properly, he's just sort of leaning against the back of him. Or the front of him. The only thing that is expendable is MOCX. Yeah, that was Expendables MVP, wasn't it? He did a cracking job, he did. In that mission. Good to go. Isn't that when, yeah, we almost lost... Yeah, we did almost lose him. Abyssion. He took an absolute beating throughout the campaign. I think he deserves like a purple heart or something like that. If I had to give one of those out, that's who I'd give it to. And here's when we were taking out MOCX as well. You can see their corpses and we're just sort of laughing around them. Figured the mood would be a bit lower, wouldn't it? Killing humans. Alright, time to take down the Warlock, so we're coming down towards that part of the campaign. Tremble before our wrath. There it is, Warlock Snorlock. Is that what's that over there? Is that a priest, I think? In a weird position. Never noticed that before. Okay, I'm not too sure what happened there. Just sort of minimized for a moment. Right. Onwards. So, this is when we've taken out our first sector pod, I believe, which wouldn't come towards us, would it? Mad sector pod. Honor their sacrifice. Kill MOCX. That's right. Cruelty knows no limits. To be fair, we did kill a few civilians. Won't lie. And here we are, running riot. Sparky's still about there. Here we go. Abyssion, we finally got him a picture. And I think we've got another one for Big Red. Maybe I didn't think we had one. I like this. He collects medals and drinks tea. Ain't that the truth? Try the new Prime. That was when we were taking out more Advent Primes or Alien Prime enemies. We got one for McDowell here. Only the deadliest weapons. I think we can all agree on that. And this is when we eliminated MOCX. Good times, guys. Good times. And that's when we lost Sparky, Falcon. Yeah, took it out the UFO. That pretty much secured our resources to the end of the campaign. In terms of alloys and Illyrium. For the most part, anyway. Taking out the Assassin. That was good as well. Always. All of this is good. Unleashing Hell. Is that the Forge? That looks like the Forge to me. And I think that's the same squad that we had for it, possibly. Yep, the old Sevenoid in the Resistance, of course. That might be the Forge, actually. I don't know. Maybe a facility. Can't remember. By the way, how well did Headhunter's armor come out there? Just, yeah. Came out really well. Stand strong. Scott just looking the other way. Crouching. That bird's in a bit of a precarious spot. I wouldn't really be there myself, personally. Alright, and here's when we took out the Hunter. Really nice. Last couple of pictures. We had Barakat returning. Shotgun sale. And that was right near the end. Testing out the Hunter rifle, I think. Time to end this. Oh yeah, we're pretty much at the end. There you go. That is from the network tower. So, even though it's not happened in this load that I've done, it's yeah, there it is. The very final picture. With our MVP as well. Should really be in the middle, actually, shouldn't she? But there you go. Just a look at the pictures there. So, memories. Right, let's talk about our favourite missions of the campaign. By all means, feel free to write yours down. I'm going to go ahead and bring up a list of my favourites, so give me one moment while I find that. Okay, I think it goes without saying that my absolute favourite was the one titled Best Mission of the Campaign. This was the one where Fang almost died and Falcon did die. It was a tense mission, and we also came across the Gatekeeper, and I was not prepared at all for it. That mission was wild. It's probably the only mission that I'd be like, you know what, if somebody found out I did YouTube, like, oh wow, which video should I watch? None of them is what I would say. First of all, literally, I've only ever told 2 people I do this. Anyway, I would say that mission, because it's the only mission that I was able to watch back and not skip bits of it. I thought, generally speaking, my commentary was okay as well. But in terms of the mission itself, it's like a movie, that one. It's absolutely crazy. I loved it. Like, just really good. The other one I think a lot of you might say is the one titled One of Those Turns. This is the one where everything went wrong in that one particular turn, and somebody was bleeding out on like the last turn and stuff like that. And basically Elvira, Red Glaive, our campaign MVP, showed us why she was MVP and put on an absolute spectacular show, running around with the swords, killing everybody off. It was a really tense mission, that one. Really, really tense. I would definitely say a lot of the early MOCX missions were pretty fun too. I think because they were just so difficult that they were a little bit tense, knowing that they could do so much damage. I think the first time they appeared was a very good video, actually. That definitely was a good one, because it was a difficult mission. Goose almost died. I think he bled out in that one. Really, really, really nasty mission. But very good. Another one I really liked, actually, is the one where we did lose... No, we didn't lose anyone. The Struggle is Real. That was a fantastic mission. Very difficult. That was one where I accidentally activated the VIP that we were trying to rescue, and then that brought in the drops, like the 2 drops of enemies a turn, whilst we still had the Warlock on the field, a Priest and a Sectoid, so we had all sorts of psionics going on whilst we were dealing with loads of stuff. So we had Red Glaive just basically standing around one of the drops, and I think we had Sparky and somebody else. I think Sparky was going solo on another drop at one point against like a Purifier. It was a wild mission. Really, really wild mission. Those were some of my favourites. I would like to add 1 or 2 of those to the list, because it was just a bonkers mission. I think the Struggle is Real. That does deserve to be on this, because that was just very all over the place, that one. And I think that's what that playlist is for, really. Missions that are a bit crazy and you're like, what is going on here? So that one possibly does make the list for me. But yeah, if there are any particular missions or moments that you enjoyed, let me know. That'd be really... I'm always happy to... Always love hearing what other people think. Okay, now let's talk very briefly about the next campaign. I'm only going to be doing one XCOM playthrough a year so that I can play other stuff. So this is your 2023 XCOM playthrough. There will be a 2024 one, of course, so don't be disheartened. It's coming back. XCOM 2 is always coming back, because it is my favourite game of all time. Now, what mods am I going to use? Well, I haven't written it down, but I vaguely remember off the top of my head. The main one in terms of us, in terms of our character classes, is going to be one called, I think it's just called Alpha's Mods or something like that, and it's by Alpha112. I believe it was Vault Wolf that recommended this. It looks quite interesting, actually. I'm also going to throw in the Keeper class mod as well. So the Alpha112's pack, basically, I think it has 12 different classes. So there's a lot of variety there. And then if we throw in the Keeper class mod as well, which is meant to be for like a Lawn War sort of thing, a Lawn War mod. So I imagine that's somewhat limited to some extent, but it should be fine. That gives us 13 different classes. Something I'd like to do for the next playthrough as well is limit every class to 3 soldiers. So everybody is one row. You know how there's like 3 different rows, for each soldier. So let's just click on anyone. You know what I'm on about anyway. But if we go soldier abilities, you've got 3 different rows, usually within the same thing. So like a sniper might be an overwatcher, a snapshotter, or something else. We're going to have everybody is allocated to one of those. Now they can deviate out of it as we see fit, of course. It's not going to be strictly that. But whenever it does come to hiring, when it comes to setting up the campaign, I will put community posts as well as a video up about that. So if you do want a particular role, you can have a look through the mods, the actual mod and the soldier classes available, and pick one. Maybe pick a couple in case you don't get your first choice, of course. But yeah, there should be, if there's 12, that's 24, 36, plus the Keeper class, that's 39. So that's basically a full roster. So there's going to be plenty of choice. So yeah, I think you'll all be pretty happy at that. It'll be very interesting. In terms of the enemies, I'm not too sure what to do. I'm very tempted to go Lawn War class pack, potentially. So Lawn War enemies without the Lawn War mod is a possibility. That could be kind of fun, but it may be quite difficult, is the downside. So I'm iffing and ahhing about that. I will look into a bit more. It would be kind of fun to play with more factions. I find that just adds a little extra dynamic. I've done that for the last 2 playthroughs now, and it's really it really does add an extra dynamic. So I might look into that as well. So no doubt I'm going to get some recommendations down below. Cinepus has given me so many recommendations. I've got them on a list somewhere. Not specifically to faction mods, just very useful UI mods, to be honest, stuff that helps me out. So yeah, there's lots to look into, and I'll do that nearer the time at some point next year. So yeah, there you go. Anything else to cover? I've got nothing else left there. Nothing else left on my list. The only thing is to go over soldier career numbers, actually. So you know what? It's now time for a very boring and yeah, very ugly looking spreadsheet. Alright, and welcome to a hideous spreadsheet. I do need to make this a lot sleeker and nicer at some points. If I ever get a free day, I will do that. I should really do this at work at some point, just sort of, you know, just make it look a bit nicer. Anyway, this has every soldier's mission count, total career mission count, career kill count, number of campaign MVPs, number of network tower appearances, and number of Leviathan appearances as well as the kills per mission. Is just a sort of extra stat I just threw in at the last minute as well, actually recently. I think, or did I do that in the last one? I can't remember. But yeah, here we go. You've got here at the top, obviously, Polo, stuff like that. People that have been around forever. Sammy, your usual stuff. Spoon, you're up to like 68 missions now, as well as 3 Leviathan experiences. So that's pretty good. That's good. You're getting a reputation for somebody that's always out on Leviathan here. Who else have we got? Obviously, quite a few of you are fairly new, obviously, around here. Andrew, I think, is up to like 77 missions. That's pretty good. Peter, this is your second campaign, as well as Goose. 40 missions there. Peter, 39. 225 kills. I mean, this campaign was very skewed, the kill count. I noticed it was a lot higher than in most. So, but he's got a finals appearance, as well as an MVP. And he's actually got... what are you doing? What are you doing? Sorry, I was just playing Imperion. He's got a network tower appearance as well. I can't believe I forgot to put that in there. Dio coming in as well, same number of missions, almost the same number of kills. He's got 2 finals appearances. That's pretty good, isn't it? What else have we got down here? We've got the newcomers down here making their first appearances. By the way, the ones that are in red are, well, you can probably guess they're dead. I mean, Ruben's dead, but he also defected, didn't he? The ones that say check, I can get rid of this, actually. We've got people that have retired as well, so that's been noted as well. There'll be a few more of those on the list, mostly from people up here. Let the new generation come in, get business done. Spike had a really good campaign. He'd really pushed his kill count right up as well. And McDowell here, 25 missions. That's a lot for one campaign. So that's pretty good, actually. Headhunter, good numbers. These are really, really good numbers. Over 5 kills a mission. That's no joke. And on such a high quantity of missions as well. Really nice. Same goes for Fang with 6.25 and 20 missions. That is brilliant. Really good. 20 missions for Redglaive. Was it 20? I thought it maybe was 19. I know. But either way, there's that cat. There's that holy MVP there. That is like the most valuable one. Everybody wants an MVP. Who has MVPs? Peter, Pradeep. That was 2 campaigns ago. 3 campaigns ago it was Bella and I think Igor. I think I might have joined them. And then prior to that, it was like Scott and like Sammy twice or something like that. Keedy in an old one as well. There we go. But yeah, there you go. Little career stats there. It'll be interesting to see after the next campaign, you know, how this differs. And like I say, I'll probably add more stats because I quite like stats. They're fun. To me, they are anyway. But eventually people will start climbing up the list after a few campaigns. Already you can see Dio and Peter starting to. Next time they'll be about here, I imagine. Most likely above all of these people here. So they'll be in the top of the list here. Top half. You got the bottom half. Yeah, right, I guess that's pretty much it. This video is not as long as I was expecting it to be, but that's fine. It just needs to be what it is. It's really the mod analysis that I think is the most interesting video to people. Right, well, I guess that just leaves one final thing, and that is the montage. Yes. So, once again, thank you very much, everybody, for watching this and enjoying the campaign. I hope you all enjoyed the campaign. I'm really looking forward to the next one. But yeah, let's celebrate with a nice montage. See ya.